everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Starr. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. It does help us feed hungry hippos. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Today we're going to talk about washing your thrifted items. I'm going to go out on a limb here and let you know my stance on this right up front. If you feel defensive or any type of way about this, my comment section is open for everyone to chime in and give your opinions. Just keep it respectful. We're all adults. We can all have differing opinions. However, this is something I feel very strongly on. If you don't wash thrifted items, you're gross, and you should feel gross, and you're wrong. The only exception to this would be if you're like a very high volume seller with over 10,000 active listings in your store, and you have a separate property or building where you conduct your business, and you're buying huge gaylords of clothing items that are delivered straight to this warehouse or this storage unit, and you're listing and photographing and storing everything in that warehouse, and it's never coming into your home. I still think it's gross, but if it's at a separate facility and it's not coming into your home, it's not as gross. What really disgusts me, what really gags me, right the gag out, when I see people bringing in, especially from the bins is the worst. The bins is worse than a thrift store, right? But you see these influencers and these content creators bringing in bags of clothing from the bins and just dumping it all over their living room for their videos. I beg your finest pardon. Did you just dump? Oh, I cannot, even with this. I'm here to tell you, even if I had a warehouse and 50,000 listings and 12 employees, my warehouse would either be next door to a laundromat or have a washer and dryer in it. But again, that's not as gross as bringing the stuff right into your house and just dumping it all over where you sit, in areas where you eat, maybe. I mean, it's just, I cannot. So why should you be washing your clothes? Because it's gross. But aside from being gross, here, the number one reason for washing used items is bed bugs. Bed bugs are hijackers. All it takes is one bed bug on a piece of clothing donated from a home that maybe has bed bugs and isn't so clean, and it will travel, and they breed, and they get everywhere. Roaches, dust mites, other bugs. You don't know what people's homes are like that these items are coming from. You don't know if they're clean people. You don't know if they washed the items before they donated them. And this is one of the arguments I see all the time. Well, most people clean out their closets and donate their items, so they're clean. Not everyone donates straight from their closet. Not everyone is clean. You don't know what the homes looked like where these items came from. You don't know if they are harboring insect friends. Not even friends, but you don't know if there's insects on them. You don't know if there's germs or sickness or viruses. But above and beyond not knowing where they're coming from, people in general are disgusting. Content warning. I'm about to talk about why people are gross, the things that people do that make it a must that you wash used clothing. You should probably even be washing new with tags clothing. So we're going to get into those details. They're barferific. Maybe you'll understand my stance. And then we'll talk about washing everything you thrift as part of your business. But first, let's get into the gross. Gross. And I say even new with tags. When I buy new clothing, I still bring it home, cut the tags off, and wash it before I wear it. People try things on. People try on used clothing. People try on new clothing. I cannot guarantee that the rest of this world is as cleanly as I am, or takes showers every day, or doesn't have open cuts or sores on their bodies. Like, just not everyone is clean. Not everyone bathes regularly. And if somebody comes in and tries something on and they have an open cut or wound, that's now on the clothing too. You see what I'm saying? Not everybody wears underwear and they still try things on. People are horrifically gross in general. And that's not just because of my issues with anxiety and germs. In general, people are gross. And people try clothes on. So I'm going to wash them before I wear them or touch them or photograph them or bring them in my home. Not everyone washes their hands at all. And people who do wash their hands, most of them don't do it properly. Now, this is coming from someone who worked in the healthcare field for decades. There is actually a proper way to wash your hands. You're supposed to sing happy birthday. However long it takes you to sing that song is how long you should be scrubbing with soap and water. And that would kill all of the germs and clean your hands. I see people all the time when I'm out in public, at the movie theater or restaurant. I use the restroom. I would say half of the women I see in the bathrooms just walk out without even washing their hands at all. And then of the remaining half, maybe one or two of them actually wash. Everyone else just kind of like grabs the soap and then runs their hands under the water, and that's it. And we don't know what people are doing with their hands. Okay, they're using the restroom. And we all know what happens in the restroom, gross things. Maybe they're picking their nose, wiping their nose. Maybe they have a cold or a sinus infection and they're wiping it. Maybe they're picking their eyes, their ears. Maybe they have dirt and germs and gross under their fingernails. And then they're touching things. You don't know what the homes looked like, where the items came from. You don't know if they have bed bugs or not. You don't know who's tried it on and if they were clean or what's going on with their body. And you don't know who all has touched everything in that store with their gross, non-washed, poopy, germy, virus hands. It's disgusting when you just take a minute to think about these things. And then when you add in the bins, I mean, maybe you live somewhere with nice, clean bins. But my experiences for the most part have been bins that have unexplainable wet substances at the bottom, dirty diapers, needles. I've seen needles at the bin, used needles. I don't know what's going on in there. And to take clothes out of there and bring it into my home, my clean home, my nice, clean, germ-free, clean home. No, thank you. And the bed bug thing really bothers me because it's very easy to wash items in such a way that it is recommended with products that are touted to kill these things, to just wash them and then bring them in. But if you have stuff from a thrift store and it has bed bugs on it and you're draping it all over your carpet, your furniture and everything, and doing your videos and getting it on your clothes, and then you're getting into bed, that's how an infestation starts. They're hitchhikers. You should do a little bit of research on them if you haven't. I guarantee you it's going to freak you out, so maybe you shouldn't. But when I started reselling, I did do my research probably because of my diagnosed OCD, my anxiety, and my germaphobe problem, but because I did my research and now very adamant that everything gets cleaned. it's very easy to quickly get an infestation of bed bugs, mites, roaches, anything that you think people could have in their homes that would be on these clothes. And it's super easy to just wash and dry them. So now that we've talked about all the reasons people are, well, some of the reasons people are gross and what could be on your clothing, it should be part of your business. I mean, it's in the terms of service on eBay. You should be selling clean clothes anyway. But you can make it part of your routine, make it part of your business. If you thrift a lot of clothes, maybe you have to work in to your routine or your schedule that you're washing 1 or 2 loads a day. And then you can write off any laundry soap that you purchase to keep your records and everything organized and make it easy on yourself. Buy separate detergent for yourself and for your business. I'm going to put out a video tomorrow talking more about detergents and what you should be using for your business. But you can, even if you use the same exact, you can write on it with a permanent marker. This is for my store. This is for personal use. Or you can have 2 different kinds. You can write that off. So anything you buy to clean your clothes or whatever is a write-off. And then I'm not a tax accountant. I'm not a CPA. So I'm not giving out financial advice. But you can, there's sections when you file your taxes, if you have a home office or run a business out of your home, you can factor in the costs of, your home office, your utilities, if you're using water, that can all be factored in. You can talk to a CPA about that. But if you're using your water or your gas or electric on your dryer, that can all be factored in as a write-off as well. And obviously, soap can be a write-off. Now, let's discuss dry clean only, new with tags, stuffed animals. You can still sanitize and freshen them up and make sure that they don't have dust, mites, or bed bugs. Get yourself a really good steam cleaner. I'll make sure that the one I use is linked below. I really like mine. The tank that comes off is this little plastic, lightweight, just easy to remove. You just pull it right off, go fill it up with water, and put it right back in. It's very small, very light. I can lift it easily and fill it and put it back. My weight limits for my disability are 5 pounds, and I can handle the canister or the tank, whatever you want to call it. It's on wheels, so I can easily move it around. It goes up and down, so I can sit and steam if I need to, if my back is hurting. And it's kind of it's not large, it's easily movable. So a lot of times we'll move it down to the garage when I get like a huge load of Plush, and we'll steam them all. So you can steam clean things that cannot go in the washing machine and the dryer. The steam cleaner I use says right on the box, it touts that it kills bed bugs and dust mites. Steam also sanitizes and sterilizes. So you can rest assured that everything's getting a nice freshen up. Anything that's grody on there is getting sterilized and it's killing any potential friends you don't want on the items. You can wash Plush. I only wash them if they absolutely need it, especially like vintage ones because they can fall apart very easily. Never put them in the dryer. Do not put your Plush in the dryer, like ever. Like ever, ever, ever. If they have long silky fur, it'll come out all matted. It just destroys them. Air dry them. I do have friends that wash all of the Plush they get, and that's cool. Just don't try it. And then, new with tags, you can steam clean, like I mentioned, or you can cut the tags off, wash the items, and reattach the tags. I always just steam clean them, though, so they're still, like, in that new with tags condition. But you can do that, and that's another thing with Plush. If you want to wash your Plush, or if it needs washing and it has tags, you can cut them off and reattach them. I'll make sure my tag reattaching gun is listed down below, too. It's very inexpensive on Amazon, and you literally just tag them like they would at the store. But there's so many reasons why you should be washing items. Specifically, people are gross. Not everyone's home is clean. Not everyone's body is clean. Not everyone's hands are clean. We don't know what people are doing with their hands and their bodily fluids and all the stuff on the clothes. And it's really simple to just work it into your routine. Literally, we work from home. Unless you live in an apartment where you don't have a washer and dryer right in your unit, it might be a little more difficult for you. I'm here to tell you, Keith and I used to deal with that. It's not that hard. So right before we had moved to Florida back in 2021, where we lived at here in Pittsburgh before, we did have a washer and dryer, and they both went kaput. They died on us like 6 months, maybe 9 months, right before we were about to move to Florida. And we made the decision that we were not going to purchase a new washer and dryer because it was just 2 more things that we had to move to Florida. Moving across country is not cheap, and most of the moving companies charge you by weight. So we were like, I think we can do without a washer and dryer for 6 to 9 months. And then when we get there, we'll get a new washer and dryer. But then we ended up renting an apartment that had the washer and dryer included. And so when we moved back here to Pittsburgh, we got a washer and dryer. That was the first thing we bought. In fact, when we were waiting on the moving truck, we went down to Home Depot, got them delivered, got them hooked up. But when we did not have them for those couple of months, when we would do a big thrifting trip, we would just put everything in garbage bags, tie them off real tight, and leave them in the trunk of the car. And once a week, we would go to the laundromat. We would go to the laundromat where they had the big washers and dryers, and we would just wash and dry everything right there, bring it home, and work on that. And when we were running out, we had to thrift more, we would do this process, and we just worked it into our routine. We would take our laptops with us, and while the stuff was washing and drying, we could be listing, we could be working on social media or other work-related things. We both had a laptop with us. We would get lunch, we would make a day of it, and we just worked it into part of our job. One day a week was to go to the laundromat. I don't know why I keep calling it the washer place. But it was just part of our jobs that once a week, that's what we did. Now that we have the washer and dryer here, we just run it from the time we start work until we end work. We do 1 or 2 loads a day when necessary. I don't really source as many clothes as I used to. But if I have a couple of thread-up boxes down there, or if I've just gone to the thrifts here and filled up a couple garbage bags, we'll just do 1 or 2 loads. You can start, you could do this too. When we go down to the garage basement area to pull our pick list for shipping, can start a load and then just flip it and start a second load. You can just build it into your processes and write everything off, and it works out beautifully. I think part of the reasons a lot of people are against washing clothes is because of the time and the cost. The time shouldn't matter. It takes under 2 minutes literally to start a load of laundry, and 4 minutes if you're flipping it from the washer to the dryer and starting a second load. It doesn't take much time. And if you build it into your routines, it really doesn't at all. And the cost is a write-off. It's cost of business. Just like your shipping supplies, just like your labels, just like anything else you purchase for this business, laundry supplies should absolutely be a business supply that you are buying and using. Now, I will say again, if you have an off-site warehouse and you're just getting tons of stuff delivered there and you work there and the stuff never comes in your home, it's still, to me, it's still gross, but it's not like you're dragging all that stuff through your home. Yes, I have a separate office here where I work. This room is only for work, and it is my home office, but you would still have to bring dirty clothing through my entire home to get it in here. I'm not having it. The other thing is heat. So if you live somewhere hot and you have a warehouse or a storage unit and it's not climate controlled and you're getting your deliveries there and they're sitting there in the heat, that will kill bed bugs. That will kill a lot of germs and stuff. I still feel like good old soap and water is the best, but we leave everything in our trunk, but we have a SUV now. Last October, in fact, I've had my new SUV for a little over a year now. But I tie everything real tight in trash bags, and we just leave it in. We either leave it in the hatchback and bring it in a bag at a time, or sometimes he'll bring them all in and just load them into the laundry room, and they stay down there. So I'm going to stand on this hill, and I'm going to die on this hill. People are gross. Used clothing is gross, and you should be washing it. And tomorrow we're going to talk about what you should be washing it with and how you should be washing it, and just kind of being aware of your buyers when you are purchasing and making your decisions on laundry soaps. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you have a different opinion, let me know down in the comments. I'm open to listening to other people's viewpoints, but I don't really think there is another viewpoint. Like, you can't tell me that everyone in the world washes their hands and their bodies properly and isn't disgusting and doing gross things and having clean homes, and that you just don't know. I cannot guarantee that everyone else in the world is as clean as me. But let me know what you think. And join my Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. I'll see you guys next time. Go wash some clothes. Thanks for watching. Bye.